Well, hello there everyone and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Christy, and as you can see, I have two slow cookers plugged in behind me. One has a pork loin that I'll be using for some pulled pork barbecue sandwiches, and the other has some homemade barbecue sauce. Now I will have a shorts video and show you just how I cook my pork loin, and then today I'm going to show you how I make my delicious sweet and tangy bourbon barbecue sauce. All right, so you know what time it is. It is time to get cooking. So I know that there are hundreds and hundreds of barbecue sauce recipes out there. There's even competitions for barbecue sauce. And there's barbecue sauces that are specific to an area like Kansas City, Memphis, Texas, Carolina. There's just so many different types and styles and kinds of barbecue sauces. They use a wide variety of ingredients, everything from using just a few basic staple ingredients to using everything in the kitchen but the kitchen sink. Now, I have made many different types of barbecue sauces over the years. I've tweaked recipes, played around with it, experimented. And the recipe that I'm going to be using today is one that I have just found that I really like. It is a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce. It uses bourbon, which I like the flavor that the bourbon gives the sauce. I just really like it. I'm no expert. I'm not a barbecue expert, a barbecue sauce expert. I just know what I like, and I wanted to share that with you. So I'm going to go over all the ingredients here that's on my counter and show you just how I make it. So I have 1 cup of a Kentucky bourbon and 1 cup of a finely diced red onion. You can use yellow onion. The red onion will give a little bit milder of a flavor. 1 cup of water, 1/4 of a cup of tomato paste, 2 cups of ketchup, and then 2 15-ounce cans of tomato sauce, or roughly 28 to 30 ounces of tomato sauce. 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard, 1 tablespoon of a hot sauce, 1/2 of a cup of molasses, and 1/2 of a cup of brown sugar. I've added my onions to a small sauce pot, and I'm going to add my bourbon. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil. Let it reduce till it equals about 2 tablespoons of the liquid, and the onions will soften. So what I have here is my small crock pot. I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients into my crock pot while my bourbon is reducing with the onions. All right, I'm going to add this water to the can tomato sauce. And I'm just going to kind of swirl that water around in the can just to get out all that sauce. All right, I'll give this a stir. All right, so as you can see, the bourbon has reduced less than half, so it is now ready. All right, so now it is time to add the reduced bourbon and onions, but honestly, this sauce is good just like this. If you don't want to use the bourbon, you can just saute your onions in a tablespoon of butter, or you don't have to use the onions if you don't want. That's completely up to you. Another option for you is you can use honey instead of molasses. I just personally like the richness that the molasses gives the sauce. All right, so I'm just gonna stir in those bourbony onions, but you can also cook this on top of the stove. Just cook it on a low simmer for a couple hours. I like to just put it in my crock pot, turn it on high, and let it cook for a couple hours that way. All right, guys, the barbecue sauce is done. My pork loin is done. And now I'm going to eat this delicious pulled pork barbecue sandwich. sure I don't have any sauce on my face. There's just something about homemade barbecue sauce. So delicious. And the longer it sits, it gets better and better and better. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day. God bless, and I will see you soon with more delicious recipes.